All right, welcome everyone to a brand new edition of the Staten Island Soccer Report, coming to you live tonight from the studios at CTV. On the other side of the glass, we got Brian back. Thank you to Brian. Thank you to Kenny, Terry, everybody here at CTV. Without them, there's no show. Alongside me, I can't see him. He's got the newspaper in front of his face, so we don't know who's there. Who is that? Is that Vito?
Yeah.
All right, Vito. Welcome back, Vito.
See, here's the headlines from the Italian Tribune.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to start off with the Euros, and we predicted Italy to get to the finals, right? I mean, that was the pick to at least get to the final, but they did more than that, right? They won the whole thing. So
well, I'm glad you know. No, I was just going to say, Italy performs its best when they're underdogs, because in 2006 they were also number 7 as they were this time,
right.
And they conceded the early goal in that final in 2006 in the World Cup. And they also equalized from a corner kick from a defenseman, and they won in PK, so the same result. And, that's Italy, when you least expect them to do something. I mean, we knew they had a good young team, and they could do a lot, and, we believed in them. But honestly, a lot of people did not in the beginning. They wrote them off. Even when Italy was doing well in the first round, they scored 3 goals for the first time in the Euro Cup history. Like Steve McManaman was saying, they just started. Gary Neville said, wait until they play the tougher teams. They're not going to have enough.
And they did. They played the tougher teams.
And then Patrick Vieira said the same thing with France. So, it was nice that they finally were able to get over this hurdle, because, John, 1968 was too long.
Well, not only that, and, not making the World Cup.
Yeah, they didn't make the World Cup. And then 2010 and 14, first round exit.
So it was a quick bounce back, from not making the World Cup to now.
For sure.
They rebuilt the team really quick, and we knew they had the talent there. For whatever reason, they didn't qualify for the World Cup.
If I was an editor for any Italian paper, my headline would read the next day, "Man Genius," because basically, he got the job done. It wasn't easy.
Speaking of man genius, he's if you're in a drought for any tournament, any cup, you hire Mancini, because he brought Italy back that cup. He brought Milan that cup,
Inter,
right?
And Manchester City.
Right. So after so many years.
Correct.
Right. So.
Correct.
So he's the man to hire. So let's give Italy its due. We're going to give them a few minutes. So whatever you dug up there, whatever you got, let's go over, the whole tournament, wrap that up.
Well, with 30 minutes left, I saw you post on Facebook that Italy loses. I saw that on Facebook Messenger.
Let me tell you something. They really didn't play from the knockout stage, from the first game, like around the 16. I mean, everyone was saying that they didn't play well, right?
Yeah.
They didn't play well, but they got the job done.
Yeah.
They found a way to win.
Yeah.
And this is something we're not used to seeing out of Italy, right?
Yeah.
If they don't play well, they lose.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, the last month here, they don't play well, and they found a way to win. So it's just something we're not. Is this going to be the trend now? Is this the new Italian team, going forward?
Well, the only good thing is that they could score goals. I mean, the tougher game maybe was Spain instead of Belgium. Belgium, they controlled them, but Spain was the tougher game.
The first game,
Austria was a scare.
Austria was a tough. They didn't play well, and they found a way to win it. They did it throughout the knockout stage.
That's true.
Now, even in the final, right? In the penalty kicks, they were trailing.
Correct.
All right. I didn't think they were going to come back, and they did.
Yeah.
So, give them credit. They deserve all the credit right now for
They were the team of the tournament.
So now they got a target on their back. Now the European champions, they're going to carry that around all the way through the World Cup qualifiers, right, and into the World Cup.
Yeah.
And we'll see what they do with that.
And Nations League is coming up October 6th.
When was the last time that you had a European champion and a World Cup champion? Come on. You got to know that one.
Germany, probably, more than likely.
Right.
It had to be.
Yeah, the Germans.
Of course. Speaking of Germany, John, the next Euro tournament will be in Germany.
Good.
They just came from a tragedy over there.
Just in Germany, right? Now that it was all over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be just in Germany. But Italy is working on bidding for the 2028.
Wait, let's talk about the teams.
Let's
talk about this Euro, because like I said, we're going to cut it down 15 minutes, and then we're going to go on to Copa America, and then we're going to speak about
Donnarumma, to be honest, I think rightfully so the MVP. He stepped up in the big moments. People were saying, Casey Keller was saying, he hasn't been tested. But you know what? When it came to the knockout stages...
No, he was tested.
Well, in the beginning rounds, he wasn't. In the first round,
he was tested when it mattered, in the knockout stage.
When it mattered, if it wasn't for Donnarumma, we don't win that Euro Cup, because the pressure and the penalty kicks, the big saves against Belgium, Spain,
Yeah.
even Austria makes some good stops. So he proved that he's worth the 12 million that PSG gave him.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we couldn't have a better person to take over the legacy of Buffon than Donnarumma because he
hold on a
started
second.
very early.
We just spoke about that. You got to be careful because he's got some huge shoes to fill.
Oh yeah, there's no question. But this is a good start. I mean, at 22, you win the Euro Cup, and basically him and Buffon, they started early in their careers because Buffon and Donnarumma, 16, 17, they already started, and now Buffon is going back to where he started, Parma. So
that's where we all end up, where we started, right?
Yeah, usually. So we'll see. I mean, I'll be honest. I think if we're gonna win a World Cup, we have the right goalie to do it.
All right, it's not only the keeper. Your pick is Donnarumma for the MVP. I'm gonna go with Bonucci. I think he was the unsung hero.
Yeah,
he's the guy that no one speaks about because he's giving you the lip there. So
Bonucci was the spark plug because that goal really woke up Italy because they were really shocked.
Well, the goal in the final against
the
England.
goal in the final.
Right.
I mean, him and Chiellini, they were very good in defense.
Right.
I mean, you have a lot of different players that really did well, but you know what? It was an all-around team effort. But usually the keepers don't get this MVP. It's difficult for a keeper to win an MVP, but you know what?
Well, he made saves.
That's the reason.
He made saves.
He did it against Spain, and he did it against England in the PKs, which was important.
Yeah, in the PKs. Yeah, but again, the only downer with him is that he left Italy to go to France, and I get it. It's all about it's all about this, right? And when it comes down to some players, not all players, right?
That's true.
Some players like Ronaldo.
But you know what?
Right?
He's got the best chance to win a Champions League with PSG. That team looks like they're built and ready to do it.
Well, now he's going to have to hopefully go through Juventus, and we'll knock him out. We don't want him to win it. Right?
Of course,
You want Juve, right?
Of
Milan, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe Milan or
We'll
even
see.
a Roma.
Well, Roma's going to be better.
Any Italian team will be fine by me,
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing with the Champions League.
Well, July 11th, the day that Italy won the Euro Cup, is a great day for Italian soccer because 1982 they won the World Cup. In 2006 they won the World Cup. July 11th is the day that brings Italy luck.
July 11th. Okay. All right. So what else on the
Well,
Euros?
I just
want
wanna
to
say-
Italian team. I know you came with your flag and all that today.
Well, I just want to say, John, potential players for 2022 that are in the mix. I tell you, we won the Euro Cup without a natural center forward. Immobile and Belotti really struggled.
Yep.
But now you talk about the future.
Immobile for sure.
Yeah, and you talk about the future, like we're not too far away from the World Cup in 22.
16
Zaniolo is coming back from injury.
Right.
Moises Keane, hopefully, he's a youngster, he's very good. Sandro Tonelli, Calabria, Zaccagni.
Balotelli in the mix, maybe?
Balotelli, if he does it very good with Turkey, this is maybe a rebirth for him.
Super Mario.
Lazzari, Politano.
We got the sign in the background,
Yeah.
The Facebook people can't see it, but the television site, there's some talk recently about the racism. It's got to stop, right? I was on Jamie's show the other day, and I spoke about it. There's no room anywhere in society for racism. It's got to stop. Punishment in Europe, I know what they do. They ban the fans. The home team fans don't get to go to a game. So what do you do with that here? I mean, what can we do to try and stop this racism towards players?
Yeah, same thing you said, probably,
but
with the game.
Are they going to do that here? Are they going to ban fans for that?
I'm not sure.
Just recently, I think the most recent was the German national team in the Olympics walked off the field during a match because of racism towards one of their players or a few of their players. So, I don't get why these fans are doing it. First of all, it's just a game.
Sure.
At the end of the day, it's just a game,
Correct.
right? And everybody wants to win the game, and there's passion. We know that there's passion, especially in Europe, and not in the States, right? Not as much.
Yeah.
But it's got to end, and this is the reason why we got the sign on the screen there tonight, and we're trying to push it as much as we can on the show.
Sure. No,
all right?
good point.
So, any thoughts on racism?
No, I mean,
in sports,
it's a shame. Like what Balotelli went through when he was playing for Brescia, it was a shame what they put him through and things like that. It's just uncalled for, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's hope the sport cleans up and there's more class with people.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That was about a year ago when he showed his frustration where he during play, he
Correct.
kicked the ball into the stands.
Correct.
But the Brescia, was that at the Brescia home field? They suspended that player is not going to be allowed in that stadium again. Those players, that group, that group, right? The fans, not the play, the fans. So yeah, because he actually stopped playing and took the ball and kicked it into the stand out of frustration. So it's affecting the players too, right? You know, that's only natural, normal to feel hurt. So hopefully we could put an end to that here.
Sure.
All right, Vito, let's move on.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say also, like Sensi, Pellegrini, Sansone are also players in the mix. I mean, to be honest, I think John, I know Balotelli is one of your favorite players. He's a great player. If he could really do what he knows to do best, and you know what, the thing with Balotelli is he's got strength. You know, like
he's powerful.
You know, he's powerful. Yeah. Like he's the way his body is built. Yeah. You know, you can get away with no center forward in the Euro Cup, but again, the World Cup, I'm sorry, you can't. You know, when you go up against
the fact that they expanded, right, more teams, so you might.
Well, no, not yet. That's coming up in down the road.
That's gonna happen.
26, yeah. So, but you know what? You need players that are bulk. Balotelli. You know, these are the players that could. You know, he delivered in the past, but you know, let's see if he can come.
Time's running out. This might be his last.
It is his last
chance.
There's no question about it.
And the qualifying games start in September.
Yeah, September 4th. Italy's hosting Bulgaria. Should they win that game, they will tie the all-time record of Brazil and Spain for unbeaten games.
Unbeaten streak, right?
Unbeaten streak, yeah. So they're working on that. They could break the record if they win that game. They could break the record when they play Switzerland. I don't know if they're really
thinking about the record. I think they just want to continue winning games and not losing games.
Yeah,
right?
Let's see what happens. I mean, you know, they could break the record. What else do we want to say? Insigne, Verratti, Immobile, those 3 9 years ago brought Pescara to Serie A, and now they celebrate a Euro title together.
Okay.
Emerson Palmieri, who came in, you know, he had tough shoes to fill with the injury to Spinazzola. At that point, he was the best player of the tournament.
Right.
He's rumored to be going to Napoli. They were
Achilles, right? I think he ruptured his Achilles.
Yeah, he's rumored to be going to Napoli.
So he's going to be out. He's going to miss
3-4 months.
Yeah, good part of the season.
Nations League is big. Italy is going to try to win another title, and they're going to be hosting the semifinals. They're playing Spain October 6th. The winner gets Belgium, France, October 10th.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about the CONCACAF Gold Cup?
Well, no. Let's go to. Well, are we wrapped up with Italy?
Just want to say, John Aloisi said this is the best Italy. The Italy Euro Cup team that won this tournament was the best he said Italy's ever seen. He said it was better than Italy '90 and better than the 2006 team.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, again, that's just his opinion, but I think the 2006 team was really good team also. Bonucci, MVP again. You know, he's my MVP.
Yeah.
So, anything else going on? You got some signings in Italy? Juve,
we could bring up some humor. What did we major back in the school years? You remember?
Yeah.
What was our major?
What was your major? I know what mine was. I'm not telling you.
Girls, right?
Right. Exactly. We're thinking the same. What about Brian behind the glass? What did he major in? All right. We're not going to get into that stuff.
So
that's for a different show.
So the signings.
Juve hasn't made any big splashes.
Well, Locatelli is going to be the big one.
Yeah. Right.
Milan. They made 2 good moves, Gerrard and Diaz.
Okay.
And they're also looking to get Luis Alberto, and they want Andrea Bellotti.
Yeah, Bellotti came off the bench, played well, I thought.
There were moments where he could have done better, and he missed a penalty shot, which usually you don't expect that from him.
Yeah.
I mean, I called the 5. The only shooter I didn't think was going to take it was Bonucci. I thought Florenzi might take it coming off, but I guessed every single shooter that Mancini decided to go with, I put it on Facebook. I guessed every single one. So yeah, the major signings were pretty much, you know, nothing really major. Messi still staying at Barcelona every year. There's a rumor he's leaving, and he always stays.
Yeah.
But Chelsea offered 85 million for Chiesa.
No.
And looks like they're not gonna.
He's not going nowhere. Yeah. He can't. I mean, it'd be crazy to let that guy. He's the best player in Italy.
Speaking of Chiesa, as I was driving, it looks like they're building a church right next to the building here. Did you see that?
No.
I don't know if it's a church, but right by the red brick building.
Yes.
So, also what I want to mention, John, Italian sports are like a revival. You talk about the women's softball team wins the Europeans. Bertarini gets to the final of Wimbledon for the first time ever.
He lost the same day.
Yeah.
Italy won.
Yeah. And you talk about, just now I heard the volleyball team, they just won something, either a
Yeah, I saw
European or
that.
something.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
Yeah,
then
like a
the
European thing, yeah.
men's basketball team qualified for the Olympics.
Well, you missed one team. I'm looking for them. I can't find them anywhere. The women.
Yeah, you were saying something before the show
Where
about
are
that.
they? Where are they?
Which
I
one?
don't-
The Italy women?
Yeah, soccer team.
Okay.
Then they
But,
didn't make the Olympics.
Yeah, but you know what?
They're
There's
probably
other.
hanging out with the U.S. men's team. 'Cause they both didn't
But
make
there's
it.
other positive stories. I mean, the men's basketball team, they did win they did get to a gold medal match. They lost Argentina one year
Yeah.
when they knocked off the U.S., which was a surprise. But
Well,
they
Vito,
have
as far
three
as
good players:
Okay, so-
Gallinari, Bellinelli.
So they got some good sports going
And
on, but
Bargnani.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
as far as soccer goes, on the women's side in Italy, it's
Yeah.
a shame that they
Yeah.
didn't make the Olympics.
Well, now
here.
they're switching places. Before, when the men's team was struggling, the women's team was doing
Yeah,
good.
but the women's team was good in the last World Cup. If
Yeah.
you remember, right before
Yeah,
you know
we
this whole
did see them make a splash.
they made a splash and
Yeah,
they
we
made a
did
name
see
for
that.
themselves. And now
Yeah.
the Olympics come, they're
Correct.
not there.
That's true. It's a good point there.
So, you know, and
He said the coach.
yeah, it's just a
Well, the coach
female.
was
I
good. She
don't know her name, but
She was doing well.
yeah, she was fine. Well, I know there was one transfer move on the women's side. The keeper from Juventus went over to Milan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a no-no. You don't do that. You don't go from Juve to Milan, right? Well,
Yeah.
Pirlo did it from
Yeah.
Milan to.
Yeah.
So, anything else on the Italian front?
Let's see. I mean, Italy was all over the place.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, the Euros, winning the Euros now is kind of dying down a little bit. So it's on to the next task.
I know they posted here, like how Italy. Yeah, here we go. They show.
The different sports that
Yeah.
they're thriving in right now.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
was Bertarini there. The Italy basketball team makes the Olympics. The Italian women's softball wins the championship,
Right.
which is pretty cool.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, it's surprising not seeing the.
And
the
look at
women's-
this, the new modern Italy.
Yeah.
This was the Euro preview. I purchased it at Barnes and Noble. I had a good feeling about Italy. That's why I
That's right.
got this
You
magazine.
invested in that.
Euro, the World Soccer magazine, Euro 2020.
Yeah. Well, you should have brought the trophy, and I know I heard that they dropped it off by your house.
Nah, you know, I'm glad you brought up the trophy because I was just thinking, this year with the Christopher Columbus parade, maybe they'll be there and be on the float. That'd be nice
Yeah.
to see the cup. Or, you know,
Well, you
when
could get the replica. No, the
Yeah.
team's not coming down.
Well, maybe the cup is. You never
Yeah,
know.
the cup, yeah.
Maybe you never know for Italian culture.
All right, Argentina did
Okay,
something.
Yes.
We're done with the
Yeah,
with the Euros.
I'm glad you brought up Argentina
Let-
because the day before they won the Copa America, Messi finally
Right.
gets a major trophy.
Well, Brazil put up a great game. It was
Yeah.
1-0. I mean,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
you
It
know
was
those.
Di Maria.
You know, if they played 10 games, they probably split 5-5.
Yeah.
You know, because they're both
Well,
great.
Well, you know what it was? They were hungry, I think, Messi and Argentina. But, you know, it's interesting. Argentina, a lot of their team is Italian origin,
Right.
you know. But, you know, it was finally nice to see Messi win something like, you know, Chiellini and Bonucci, finally they win something too.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to see eventually, you know,
He
good
absolutely
players win.
deserved it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely deserves a
You know?
trophy. Yeah.
And so now we go from now that they're planning on Italy, the Euro Cup champions, versus the Copa America Kings. They want to do a game
Well,
in tribute, in honor of Maradona. They're working on
in
a game
Naples,
now.
right? And it's
But
going to be in Naples.
Could
yeah.
be, could be.
Yeah.
But I tell you, John, it's a shame that they got rid of the Confederations Cup. Because, well, you know, the pandemic caused some problems.
Yeah.
But you know, now that Italy's starting to get good again, they get rid of the Confederations. And Italy did get third place one time in the Confederation. It would have been nice. Hopefully they do bring it back, because it would be nice to see Italy go up in that more, you know,
Right.
more competitive games again. You know, and especially if you're the winner, everybody wants to face you.
Well, that's the thing now. Argentina, I watched a few of those Copa America
Yeah, I
games,
saw
right?
them. They look
Because they
good.
played at night
Yeah.
at a good time
I
for us,
saw
right?
Argentina played well. I watched
Right.
them during the
I
tournament.
missed a lot of Euros games because you
Yeah.
know the timing of it,
Yeah.
right? It was bad. So, but that whole the way they play, you know, the South American teams, you know,
Yeah,
the fast pace,
yeah,
and it's a hell of a lot more rougher than the European style. So.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what Argentina and Italy right now would look like, that game.
Yeah, yeah,
how
definitely.
that game would be. That would be an interesting
And you know
game.
what? Mancini says Italy, Spain will be among the favorites, but Argentina, Messi's running out of time. He's still chasing a World Cup.
Yeah.
This might be his last one. He may have one after this one, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I tell you, Argentina looks more ready than Portugal. Look at them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Look at them in the Euro Cup.
Yeah, they had
Belgium.
problems defensively. Yeah.
And you know who was the most disappointed team for me? Poland.
But
because
wait, go back to Portugal. You mentioned Portugal. Yeah, they had problems, but Ronaldo still did his thing. He won the Golden
That's
Boot.
true.
He won the Golden
No,
Boot.
that's
So
a
he
good
did
point.
his job.
Yeah,
His teammates
but the
didn't do it.
supporting. You know what? Messi has more of a supporting cast
Yeah.
than Ronaldo does right now.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, they're both running out of time, and it looks like if there's going to be one that's going to win the
We're
World Cup,
about
Messi's a lot closer.
16 months away, right?
Yeah.
So you know what? They both have a shot of playing in
But
it.
you know what, John? Poland was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
I know their group was a little tough, but I tell you, with the World Player of the Year, with Lewandowski and all these other stars that play in Italy,
Yeah.
they did not do anything. They disappointed. They couldn't get out of the first round.
Well, for me, I don't really expect much out of them, out of Poland anyway, as a team. So I really didn't expect anything really out of them. So especially with their keeper, and he made a couple blunders.
Yeah,
All right, and that's gonna be the problem for Juve going forward.
Yeah, we'll see.
In Champions League.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Did you want to move over to Gold Cup?
Well, Argentina, Italy, if that happens,
Yeah, it is going to happen.
if it happens, who's your pick?
Maybe a
and not the
draw. Maybe a
obvious.
draw. I don't know.
Yeah, because you got a fast pace.
Yeah.
And are they going to slow it down? Because Italy was counterattacking.
Yeah,
They weren't sitting
yeah,
back.
I know. That's the new Italy.
So you're going to have...
The new Italy is more of attack minded, but Italy-Argentina would not be a game that means anything. It's just
One thing, Vito, how many red cards did they issue?
A good question. There was
Come on,
quite
you
a
got-
few. I didn't really keep
No?
track of it, but there was quite a few.
Well, for not knowing the answer to that, you're going to get a red card. So that's one for the show. All right. All right, so yeah, let's move on now. We got
So,
the Gold Cup just started, right?
Yeah, the Gold Cup. I gotta say, John, and I was talking to one of my friends, and he's like, USA looks slow. USA and Canada, they look slow, and USA barely beat them. I know that they got
Well,
like a second tier team, a third tier team.
Well, no, not
whatever.
only that, Vito, let's keep in mind as a coach, right? Both teams already got through.
Yeah,
Okay, so there was really only thing they were playing for was first place,
yeah.
and I think the loser might try to
That's true.
avoid Mexico. But you know what? I don't look into all those things.
But I tell you,
You got to play who you got to play.
I saw them against Haiti, and I gotta be honest. They won 1-0, but Haiti had chances. It was ridiculous how Nazan, they missed these chances.
It's the same thing we spoke about with Italy,
Yeah.
right? You get the job done, no
Yeah.
matter how you do it.
That's true.
1-0 is 1-0.
No, that's
I
true,
understand you
but-
want to play the game and you want to play it perfectly.
That's true.
But it's hard.
That's true. But I tell you one thing, John, don't sleep on Jamaica. I've been watching them play, and they've been playing.
the
They
Reggae
won the
Boys
game.
always put on the
Yeah,
show. We know
they,
that.
they've been to 2 Gold Cup finals. It's only a matter of team that Jamaica will be crowned champions, and nobody is given any respect to nobody. Like I'm
To who?
listening to the analyst
Yeah.
on FS1. Oh, it's going to be USA Mexico. Like they're guaranteeing it.
No. It's
USA
not,
Mexico.
It's not guaranteed. Well, Mexico leads everyone, all
Yeah.
nations, with
But-
eight gold cups.
But you know what hurt them? The first game when they lost Lozano to that
Right,
injury.
yeah.
And Trinidad was physical, and they were able to give them a scoreless draw.
So Mexico leads with 8 gold cups. The U.S. has 6.
Yeah.
And who has?
Canada's got 1.
Excellent. Good job. You did your homework on that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And
All right, so.
and
But right now, I think after Mexico's win last night, now they're on opposite brackets.
Yeah.
So they could face each
Yeah.
other if they both win
Yeah.
out. If
But
they-
I got to tell you one thing. Haiti has been disappointing, even though they just won their last game. But
Yeah.
Haiti, last Gold Cup, they got to the semis. I thought I was going to see some more from Haiti.
Well, let's not forget, teams go through changes, right?
But they also did have a negative impact with their president getting assassinated,
Right,
too.
right. I'm sure that
But,
was on their minds, definitely.
I'm surprised. But,
Yeah.
Haiti's also the one that stepped in just actually stepped down. The replacement for the Haiti's president.
oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
That's on the news.
okay. He stepped down.
Yes.
And
Wow.
also,
It's not an-
Guatemala.
It's not a job for everybody, I guess.
Guatemala was called at the last moment because Curacao had too many COVID players and they
Right,
didn't
yeah.
end up coming.
Right.
I heard the story about Denmark in '92. The same thing. Somehow they weren't. they were the last minute call up, and Denmark ended up winning the Euro Cup in '92.
That's,
And speaking of Denmark, oh my God, Eriksson, that was very scary what happened. to him.
Thankfully he's okay.
Yeah, and they, you know what, they went so deep, and if it wasn't for that
well, you know what happened to them?
that
England,
bad
that
call.
the home field advantage hurt Denmark. That's what happened with that. And they try to do it to Italy also, too.
But let me tell you, I've been watching Qatar play. John, 2 games, they scored crazy. They scored like 6 goals in 2 games, and they've been really putting on fire. And I tell you, this is a good competition for them to get ready when they host the World Cup.
Yeah, but
they've
don't.
been playing well.
Yeah, I don't see them. They're the only team that's qualified for the World Cup.
They're also the reigning Asian Cup champions.
Yeah, you know what? That doesn't mean much to me. They should get all the league champions and put them together and let them play a tournament.
That was the Confederations Cup, and that's what they scrapped right now, which they got to bring it back. That's that took the joy out of the fans, because a lot of the fans are looking forward to that. But we'll see what they have in mind. You can't agree with every decision FIFA makes.
No, you can't. Definitely can't. I mean, So now, as far as the Gold Cup, we don't know yet because we've got games going on right now and tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Costa Rica, Jamaica.
Then we'll know who the U.S. is facing.
Suriname has got Guadeloupe. Honduras, Qatar, Panama, Grenada rounds up the games.
Those teams, right? They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Mexico, Canada, El Salvador. We got to speak about them.
Oh, El Salvador, tough loss last night.
Yeah, but they've been playing good soccer, and they're led by the former U.S. soccer player.
Yeah,
you know who he is?
No.
Red card for you.
Give me a red card.
Hugo Perez.
Hugo Perez, right? Okay.
Yeah, he leads, and he was in the running for the U.S. coaching position, and they never gave it to him.
Okay, so
he's doing well with them.
So they lost last night on a deflection goal.
Yeah, to Mexico.
Right. Yeah. So. But they, again, they may fizzle out in the knockout stage.
Well, don't be surprised if Qatar makes a run. Maybe they can get deep. We'll see.
I saw Jamaica play a little bit. Yeah, and they got some players, right? So they're going to make
Jamaica's goalie is very good.
Well, he plays in the MLS. He plays in Philadelphia.
Very good goalie.
Mr. Blake. I know him very well. Yeah.
And he's, he's probably one of the best goalkeepers in this tournament. Yeah.
And speaking of the MLS, not to change subject because we don't really want to talk about Mickey Mouse leagues. I'm doing a lot of work at the Red Bull Arena now and watching a lot of these games. And boy, I tell you, I mean, the turnout. Where are the fans supporting the local team?
Speaking of, I'm glad you brought that up because Italy, Serie A is pushing the government to allow 100% capacity to anyone who's fully vaccinated.
Oh. All right, but that's their choice. Yeah. But where are the fans locally here to support our 2 teams that we have going on here? Wednesday night, the New York City FC are playing their home game in Red Bull Arena. Mm-hmm. So are you going to go to Red Bull Arena to watch your New York City FC team?
Not really, to be honest.
How does that work? They're going to paint the stadium blue? It's red.
Also, John, I just want to bring up, did you hear about Serie A starting a new format for 2024? 18 teams with 4, 6, or 8-team playoff to decide the Scudetto and a play-out for regulation. Right. So that's interesting that they're working on that. And then there's new rule changes. Did you hear about that?
Well, you got some rule change. Well, they're just talking about.
They want to do 30-minute halves instead of 45.
They're actually right. That they're using
clock stoppage with each interruption. Instead of the throw-ins, taking in with the feet.
Kick-in. It's a kick-in.
Yeah, kick-in.
I
unlimited subs.
I'm okay with the kick-ins. I'm okay with the subs. Unlimited.
5-minute temporary sin bin for yellow cards.
So what is it, like a penalty box they're going to make on the field?
I'm not sure.
Guy goes in like the hockey? Yeah?
That's what they're saying.
I don't know about that. That I'm not crazy about. But I'm okay with the unlimited subs, and I'm okay with the what was the other thing you just mentioned here?
The kick-ins?
The kick-ins, I'm sorry. Yeah,
kick-ins. Right.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Why should we touch our hand with the balls in our hands?
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Put it down and pass it.
That's true.
But keep the opponent away.
Yeah.
You can't be on top of the ball, right?
No.
Keep him 5 yards away.
Yeah, of course. Gianluca Buzio, Italian descent, American soccer player from Sporting KC, joins Venezia for $4 million. And another U.S. player also joins Venezia.
Yeah, well, good for them. That's great for them. Listen, they're not going to learn anything here, right? Yeah. They're not going to, skill wise, they're not going to get better here. So go overseas. They're going to be playing against the best teams in Italy. Mm-hmm. It's great experience.
Speaking of Italy, John, the schedule's made up. Week 1.
Yeah.
You want me to go through the schedule?
Well, let's talk about another American player that's playing in Juventus right now.
Oh, Weston McKennie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How come he's not on the team?
Well, for this tournament?
I think this
Yeah.
is not the real. Once they go to the qualifying games.
Well, you know what it is? They won the CONCACAF Nations League. I guess they took that more seriously than this tournament.
Yeah, I guess so.
They beat Mexico in that.
But come September, when we play for the qualifiers, he's got to be on that team.
Oh, yeah, no question
right,
about
with Pulisic, too?
No question about it. John, week 1, Inter Genoa, Inter the Scudetto champions.
Right.
That's August 21st, 1830. Then you got Verona.
Who's
Sassuolo.
coaching Inter?
Simone Inzaghi. I'm going to go into that. So Verona, Sassuolo. Then you got 2045 Torino, Atalanta, and also Empoli, Lazio.
2035, that's a night.
Yeah. Then 2045. Then you got the next day, Sunday, August 22nd, Udinese, Juve, 1830. And then 1830 Bologna, Salernitana, newly crowned Salernitana.
But these games are not given, especially early on in the season. They're very important.
Yeah.
You know how many points last year we spoke about?
Yes.
Juventus dropped so many
100%.
games. So
100%.
these games here, the first month, you
Yeah.
want to get the 3 points.
August 22nd, the Posticipo, Roma, Fiorentina, 2045.
Who's playing in the Super Cup?
It's got to be Inter
Inter?
versus,
Juve.
is it? It could be, right?
Juve won the
Coppa Italia,
Coppa Italia,
yeah.
right.
Napoli, Venezia.
That's a good game, too.
Yeah, Napoli, Venezia, August 22nd. Then you got Monday's Posticipo, Sampdoria, Milan.
Mhm.
And you got 1830 before that is Cagliari, Spezia. Sidebar, Robin just retired from Holland.
Okay.
And we had a Dutch referee in the Euro Cup final.
Yeah, he's up there. He was up there in age.
Yeah.
He's a good player, too.
This year, it has to be a record. Look at all these coaching changes. Cagliari, Semplici.
Wow.
Empoli's got Andreozzi, they're a newly crowned Serie A. Fiorentina's got Vincenzo Italiano. Genoa, Ballardini. Inter, Simone Inzaghi. Juve,
Inzaghi.
Allegri.
I just like that name. Inzaghi.
Yeah.
It's like a great.
Lazio, Sarri. Napoli, Spalletti. Roma, Mourinho.
Yeah.
Salernitana, Castori. Sampdoria, D'Aversa. Sassuolo, Dionisse. Spezia, Diego Motta. Torino, Joric. Venezia, Zanetti. And Verona, Di Francesco. All these, this has got to be a record. Never seen all
So
these.
many changes
It's
in one.
crazy.
Yeah, one season.
And just back with the Nations League, Italy, Spain, 1445, October 6th. That's going to be in Milano. October 7th, the next day is Belgium, France, and Torino, 1445. October 10th, we have the final. That's going to be in Milano, and probably the third place match will be in Torino. The third place match is 9 a.m.
Right.
The final will be at 1445. Let's hope Italy can continue it going and add to the trophy case.
I mean, I don't see why not. Really.
Yeah.
They got a solid team now.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the finished product of the Euro 2020 bracket.
Right.
Here's how it looks completed.
Right. You got a cross out. You got a cross out there. Oh no. Looked like you had a cross out. Yeah. So going back to that for a minute, then we'll go on to we got the Olympics to talk about.
Yeah, the
we got
Olympics,
another,
July 23rd.
We got another 20 minutes or so.
That's
So
gonna-
let's
this-
go back
this
to the
has
Euros.
been-
The most disappointing team in the Euros.
For me, was Poland. I expected a lot more because they had all those players in Serie A. They had the World Player of the Year, Robert Lewandowski. I expected a lot more from
But
them.
Vito, we got to go back to the videotape now. You really on Belgium's bandwagon.
I thought Belgium was going to do well, but you know what? Italy has always played them well. 4 years ago, they beat them with Conte.
Yeah.
So I figured the way Italy was playing, I felt like we had a lot of momentum.
So not disappointing for Belgium?
Well, I think it's disappointing for Belgium because I don't think they wanted the quarterfinals. They wanted to
Right.
go deeper than that.
What about the
So-
Germans?
Well, Germany hasn't been playing well in a long time, but Belgium, I don't think their coach.
Yeah, but they're a big country for soccer.
But
They're big.
The Belgium coach, who knows if he stays on?
Well, no, he's
Roberto
got to
Martinez.
go. I think he's got to go.
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
don't agree. Again, not bringing Nainggolan on the team.
Right.
And now Nainggolan is going back to Inter. I think he's going to rock this year with Inter.
Okay.
And I think
Oh, they got
Nainggolan, if Belgium gets a new coach, Nainggolan has got to find his way back on the World Cup team for Belgium.
Right.
But Germany, John.
Do they rip it apart
They
that
have-
team because they're an older team? Also, do they?
Well,
do
they're gonna- they
or they
have-
wait.
They have still in 16 months.
Right.
This is their final window.
Right. Okay.
to
so,
do something.
So you can hold on to a couple of those
Yeah.
guys, the older
But
guys.
Germany, John, they've been disappointed because they've been bad for a long time.
Okay, so that's fine. Now, what about France? And I know Mbappe missed a penalty kick there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did they have a good tournament? Was it disappointing?
It was disappointing because everybody before the tournament, you couldn't talk to everybody thought they were an expert. Everybody picked France, Spain, England, Germany. Italy wasn't even in the equation, even though we knew what team we had, and they finally proved it. But nobody respected Italy. Now you have to respect them.
Well, now that they won it, but before the tournament, like you said, it was France.
Yeah.
You know, you get the Belgiums, even
Yeah.
England.
Yeah.
Even England.
Yeah.
Shocked me a little bit
Yeah, they
to
did.
get because they never do anything. But since they were playing at home, maybe that gave them that extra juice.
England has been more disappointed than Italy in the European Championships, but this is the first time they got to the final.
Did you see in the stands when Beckham
Yeah,
pounded who?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. What
That's
the heck was that all about?
Yeah, but England, in their history, they still, the only thing I say about England is they have a youth, so their future is bright with Saka and Sancho.
Yeah.
Their future is very bright,
Look,
but England does not. Italy's got their number. Italy's beaten them 6 times.
Look, I'm sure it happens all over the place. You know, there was some rumor that a lot of fans knocked down the gates to get into the stadium that day and all that stuff.
Well,
you know.
I heard there was fan trouble after the game.
Fan trouble
and
after
now
the game.
the fans were. They signed a petition, 100,000 English fans, that they want to replay the Euro Cup final.
Well, they could replay it, but without Italy's not going to be there. They could play with themselves, but
I mean,
look, any controversy, I don't think there was any. The coach makes a selection. He probably goes up. You have to go up to a player and ask him, say, look, you want to take a PK?
Well,
and you got to give the 19-year-old credit for saying yes. And he's taking the number 5 penalty kick, which turned out to be the biggest one for them. They needed that to tie the game.
I agree. Well, you know what Southgate's reasoning was? Southgate says in practice, he felt like they were the most prepared.
Right.
I mean, there's always going to be criticism no matter what.
Yep.
That they could have went with the guy Grulich.
Yeah, no, they
the one that came off
had
the bench.
experienced players there waiting, but they opted to go with the kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. That kid's got experience now.
But I got to tell you, Jordan Pickford, he played well.
Yeah.
He stopped Jorginho's a penalty stop.
Yeah.
And I got to say,
Well, he scored in the previous game to win it, so.
Yeah. But Jordan Pickford played a good game. I mean, I tell you, England's not going away. We know that this is the beginning. They're starting to build a good team.
Oh, Europe's got a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
But
But the Dutch were disappointing.
Yep.
You saw when they gave up 2
They
goals.
haven't been good in a
when
while.
they gave 2 goals up to Ukraine, they're winning 2-0. Then Ukraine came back. You said something doesn't look right with the Dutch.
Yeah. And they've been like that for
Yeah.
a while now.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? I tell you, Croatia. I thought they were going to beat Spain. They came back with those 2 goals.
I know. I always like Croatia for some
They
reason.
didn't have Perisic that game. That might have hurt them. He was injured.
Yeah.
But I think Croatia will have a good World Cup, coming up.
All right.
So, basically, there's a lot. This has been one of the most exciting sporting years because of the pandemic. So everything's being played this year.
Well, you got everything
We
in a
had
row, right?
The Copa America, the Euro Cup, now the Gold Cup, and then the Olympics.
And the Olympics, and then you got the season starts
And
again.
then before that, you got the International Champions Cup coming.
Right.
to
Well,
the
that's
United
happening now too.
Yeah.
They're already playing preseason games.
So International Champions
So
Cup.
you got nonstop soccer going on year
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Year round. I think the
Yeah.
next pause will be the World Cup, and
Yeah.
that's not even a pause because they're playing.
They're playing in November, the first time ever.
So you got soccer going straight through. Nothing going on the youth side.
Well, now Italy, you get to 2 Euro Cup championships. They're 1 behind Germany and Spain, and in the World Cup, they're 1 behind Brazil. So
Right.
that's what they're catching.
Well, look, in World Cup is a whole different animal.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole different beast
Definitely.
now because you're throwing in everybody else in the mix. And does Italy, Italy, are they going to win a World Cup?
They have a good chance now that they won.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say
Well,
because you're throwing in everybody else
Yeah.
now. So.
Yeah, we'll see. But Vincenzo had mentioned he expects,
Well,
the next
speaking of
FIFA
Vincenzo,
the next FIFA rankings.
glad
Italy's
you brought
not-
it up. Vincenzo's
Italy-
sick right now.
Oh yeah.
Give him a little respect.
Yeah.
He's a big time caller on the
Yeah.
show. He's in the hospital. He's okay. He's got to take care of himself and get back on the show. We miss Vincenzo.
So when I spoke to him last, he said, now with Italy being 7th, now
Yep.
winning the Euro Cup, they're definitely going to
Yeah,
bump
but
up.
that's just the FIFA ranking.
Yeah,
What
I
does it matter?
And it's true because look.
Did it
what
matter before the
It
tournament?
didn't matter. They had Belgium number 1 in the world. They
All
had
right, so
everybody.
there you go. So to me, those things really don't
Yeah.
matter. I don't go by rankings and stuff. But as far as prediction, if the World Cup started tomorrow, I mean, right now, I wouldn't say after seeing Brazil and Argentina play.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you know,
agree.
you got to throw them in the mix too.
Definitely,
You know?
you definitely expect big things from them, but
But I would love to see an Italy, Brazil game. You know, I want to see them
The
play
problem-
both of them.
here's the problem: we don't have much luck when we play them in history. We've beaten them before, but
Well, with this team now, it's a young,
yeah.
fast.
But
you
in
know,
history, Italy's owned Germany. They've owned England.
Right.
Certain teams they have their number.
Mhm.
Brazil's had the better of Italy, and even Argentina they've given Italy problems. So it's
1994 World Cup.
94 was the final, and then 90 when we went out against Argentina.
Right.
So, you know.
But this Italian team, you know,
this Italian team is
energy,
special. The only thing is, I think Mancini's realizing.
offensive-minded.
Yeah, now I think he's realizing if he's going to do something in the World Cup. I mean, they gave him a big contract. He
Yeah.
could win everything, and he says he wants to win everything because as a player, he didn't win anything.
Right.
But he has a chance because they have him until 26.
Well,
which is,
He's got a few trophies himself.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but as far as when he was a player, he did not win
Right,
anything.
but he's got trophies
He
now.
never won as a Italy player.
Right.
But the bottom, and he was disappointed. I was hearing that in the '82 team, he was a youngster. He was disappointed that they didn't even
Right.
call him up
Right.
to the Italian team in '82.
Hey, you know, again, it's a choice. Look who you wanted to call up.
Caputo, yeah,
What
but-
happened? Right.
But you know what? I'd rather have Caputo than Immobile, the way Immobile
Of
played.
course.
But the only problem with Caputo, the last 10 games he disappeared. John, if
you
there's
know, I mean, you
if
can't
there's
score.
if there's a healthy Chicho Caputo this season with the new coach, if he plays 34
Look,
games, he's going to be the leading scorer
The
this year.
problem is, you know, you can't score in every game.
Yeah,
But you just got to be consistent. Okay. So score in the majority of the games.
Well-
You're not going to score every game.
Well, you
Ronaldo
know-
doesn't score every game.
You know what the interesting thing about this Italian team was? Their scoring. You look against Switzerland, 3 goals, Turkey, 3 goals, Wales.
Yeah.
So first round, they had 7 goals in 3
Right.
games.
Yeah, this is why I say.
Then against Austria, 2 more, that's 9.
Right.
2 more against Belgium is 11. Spain,
And then 1 and
12.
1.
And then so they scored 13 goals.
Yeah.
And then they
in
gave
7
up
games,
and
right?
they gave up
In
yeah.
7.
And they gave up I think it was 4 goals. They gave up 1 against Wales,
Right.
1 against Spain, 1 against Belgium, 1 against Austria, and 1 against England. 5 they
Right,
gave
right,
up.
right.
5 goals.
Well, look, and this is why I say it would be interesting to see because they're offensive-minded. We're not used to an Italian team being offensive-minded against Brazil now,
Well,
against
I
Argentina.
tell you,
know?
Italy continues the way they're going.
They're not sitting back.
They continue going the way they're going. They win the Nations League. That'll be another statement.
Right.
Now, you could say maybe Italy among the 4. You could probably say Italy, Argentina, Brazil,
Right.
and and then maybe England. I don't know.
Maybe you want to
possibly.
throw them in there.
You know,
could throw
as
them
the
in.
top 4 right now. But
Yeah.
we still got a long
And
way
they
to go.
scored the fastest goal, I believe,
Yeah,
in
that
the
was the
Euro. So, I
fastest.
mean, when they scored that goal, like,
Yeah.
oh, boy, here
The
we
Euro
go.
final, yeah, that was the fastest.
You know?
But you know what? It was a blessing they scored that early because it was a wake-up call.
Well, look at yesterday's game, U.S.-Canada, 20 seconds into
Yeah.
the game, and that was it.
Yeah.
No more scoring
yeah,
after that.
Yeah.
So, that was a record. So, all right, look, we got to give the Olympics, U.S.
Yeah.
women, some love here. We got another about 13 minutes to
Yeah,
go.
I'm looking forward to the Olympics. I think there might not be any fans, but
No fans.
it should be
No
interesting.
fans, and you're only allowed out 15 minutes a day.
Yeah. And
It's really strict rules over there.
let's see what the United States could do. And let's hope that Italy could surprise us and win a lot of medals too. Hopefully they could
Well,
do something good.
it's unfortunate that the Italian women's team is not there as far as
Yeah.
soccer goes.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got other events
Yeah.
for the Italians.
Yeah.
But as far as the U.S. women's national team, and now I've been going to a couple of this Gotham, FC Gotham, the
Okay.
girls team that plays in Red Bull Arena, and watching some of the, I mean, again, if the women's team on the American side, soccer, doesn't win the gold medal, it's a huge disappointment,
Yeah.
huge. So, I mean, they could probably beat some men's teams,
Yeah.
watching them play. They just finished beating Mexico 2 games in a row, 4-0 each, right? I mean, I don't see anyone. I really don't see anyone giving them any trouble.
Mhm.
Now, if they lose a game, that's because the team didn't play well,
Yeah.
or they wasn't up for it,
Yeah.
or thought they could just show up and win, not put the work in.
You know, when I think of the Italians that in the past Olympics, in the summer games, were they good at? I remember one time they won the track and field, but also the rowing, the fencing,
Yeah, but I don't know if they can have all those sports in there.
Yeah.
They're limited. They said there's
Okay.
not all the sports are not going to be back.
And also with the
Fencing might not be around.
even
'cause
with the other one, the
although
shooting,
they have a mask on.
the
there.
shooting, like the shooting contest, they
Yeah,
would always
the
win.
disc. Where
Yeah,
they
yeah,
shoot-
those things.
They said all
Yeah.
not all of them are going to be back. So
But I tell you, John, I think eventually, there's been a rumor, they've had commercials about this. I think eventually you got to have American football as a summer Olympic sport.
yeah.
It's got to happen one year.
Well, as far as the U.S. women's national team goes, Vito, for me, I think you'll probably if they're going to award an MVP, I'll say it now. I think this woman, Kristen Press, deserves. I mean, some more because she's been behind.
Yeah.
The top players, Morgan and the
Sure.
the other ones there, Rampone, all these other
Yeah.
players. But now this year, right, leading up to this Olympics, Kristen Press has been
Yeah.
scoring
So you
goals.
expect the U.S. women's to win this Olympic?
I expect them
gold,
to
right?
dominate.
Yeah.
This team is just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Vito, I don't think anyone could touch this team.
Yeah.
If this team wants to beat, you know what? Why don't they just make a team, a world team, and play the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Get all the
Best
players in the world and
Yeah.
play the United
Yeah.
States, really,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that'd be the only competition
That's
that
true.
they would, because they beat everybody else
That's a
hands
good
down.
point. That's a good point.
They're playing Sweden in the first game. We know Sweden with the rivalry and the ex-coach and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. They know each other well, but at the end of the day, the U.S. is going to
Yeah.
win the game.
Yeah.
So for me, the challenge is for the rest of the world. Make a team,
Yeah.
please. Get a team together on the women's side, right? And let's play the U.S. team.
You know what, John? That's a good point. You look at, I could compare to when the U.S. men's basketball team was dominant, 92, 96, the Dream Team 1, 2,
Right.
and 3.
Yeah.
And then then all of a sudden, like the rest of the world started to catch up. Then you had like Yugoslavia, Argentina, Spain, give them challenges, so like, I see what you're
Well,
saying.
don't get me wrong. The rest of the world has caught up as far as the women on the women's side. They have France, England,
Yeah.
right? Spain is up
Yeah.
there. The
Yeah.
Germans are good,
Yeah.
right? So they're all caught up.
Yeah.
But I still think the U.S. women's soccer team is the most
Yeah,
dominant
I agree.
that you're probably ever going to see.
That's true.
I'm talking dominant.
No question about it. There's no argument.
Physically, really. I mean, I watch them like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Why can't the men get this?
Yeah,
you
they
know?
couldn't even get in. But, the U.S. men's couldn't even get in for the
No, they
Olympics.
didn't even get in.
But
No.
what about the Italian men's the soccer team I had?
No.
Check. Yeah, they didn't
Well,
get in.
you know what? No, don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't
Okay.
checked on the
Okay.
men's side. Yeah, maybe they didn't put a team in.
Usually, on the men's soccer side, who do we usually see win this? A lot of African teams, if you
Yeah.
look in history.
Yeah.
Usually, and you've had Brazil win. You've had one time they won too.
The United States should be on top there with total medals and medals, not just gold, but all medals
Oh, yeah.
aside. The U.S. would be up there.
Yeah.
Japan's. Listen. Let me mention the Japan women's soccer team.
Yeah.
They won the World Cup in
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Maybe not the last one,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one before.
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah.
So they're a tough team
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
But at the
You
end
know
of
where
the
I
day,
expect Japan to do well?
Oh, they're-
Sumo wrestling.
Sumo wrestling. Yeah. Well, they'll be up there with the medals. China's always up
Yeah.
there with the
Yeah,
medals.
China's a
right?
discipline.
China.
They always, when you talk about certain countries that come from communism,
Yeah.
their government is very strict.
Right, they're strict. So they
so,
got it.
Russia too.
Russia too, right? Yeah, we just
But
What comes to mind when you said that was the Rocky IV movie, right? When they had the Russians there, and
Yeah.
when he had to beat, right?
Yeah, that should be good. The boxing events to see what happens there.
Yeah. So I mean, again, with the United States women's team, bring back the gold.
You know what would be good for summer? Well, they don't have it in the Olympics. Fishing.
Fishing. Yeah.
Do like countries to see.
Yeah. See, but over there right now, it's bad. There's no,
Yeah.
they're still dealing with a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no fans going to
Yeah.
to the games and stuff. But no, so you got the Women's World Cup team. They just won that, and they're looking to get an Olympics now. Carly Lloyd, this is probably her last hurrah with the team. She's up there in age,
Yeah.
and she's going to make it real tough for the coach. Is she starting or is she coming off the bench? She's good enough to start.
Yeah.
She's in great shape.
Well, we saw what the U.S. women's did in the World Cup when they showed that they were, they
Vito,
were the
the
boss.
players that they have on the bench, and the same thing with the all these national teams, right? The players that you have on the bench are starting on any other team.
That's true, I agree with
So
that.
you got these guys that like dying to get onto or the girls, they're dying to get out there, and they're sitting on the bench.
And that's
Some
the
of them don't
important
even
thing.
play. Although Italy did play every single player that they
Yeah.
brought down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And, that's the important thing. Like, you got to have a deep bench. It's very important.
Well, look, goalkeepers, for instance, right? Now, you're a national team. You got 3 of the best goalkeepers in your country, whatever country it may be.
Yeah.
only one is playing.
Yeah.
The other two are sitting there the
Yeah.
whole time. Those
Yeah.
are the only two guys that don't get to see any
Yeah.
action unless there's an injury or something
Yeah.
like that.
Also, I
But-
want to talk about. I know, like you mentioned, good point about Japan, how things are bad with the COVID
Yeah,
situation.
it's tough right
but
now.
over here, at least things are starting to open up. I think we may see Mount Loretto Festival this year.
Right.
The Carnival came back, the
Right.
Staten Island Mall Carnival. So events are starting to come back.
Well, here they are, but don't forget, you want to get into that. This is for a different show. Staten Island's one of the highest with the COVID, with the new strain. We're the highest on the island in the city. They're saying so. You want to open everything back up, but we got to try and be smart too at the same time.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for opening up, but be smart.
We'll see if there will be a holiday party at CTV this year. We'll have to see.
Well, we got some more months to go for that. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So again, good luck to the women's team. Right, they're in Japan right now, and not that they need much luck, but and I don't want to jinx them or anything, but still, that's one dynamite team, and you know what? They left off so many good players. That's how you know that program is so good, because when these players leave, like Morgan, they have players already set up, to take their place. So.
And I wanted to bring up something else about. We did mention on a prior show a couple months ago, Curtis Sliwa. He ended up being the projected winner for the Republican nominee.
Right. I seen him the last couple of days with some incidents going on, and there's so much going on in the city, negative stuff going on. He was out there in Borough Park or in Brooklyn somewhere today, because there was an incident. Yeah, I mean, let's hope he takes it all. He's another guy that he's not a politician, right? And I think he cares more for the city than the other guy does, right? For now, I think. So we'll see. We got some time for that.
And John, what's the scary thing
we
right now?
may bring him on the show because he's a big soccer guy.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that?
I used to work with him. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, he's a big soccer guy.
I used to work with him at ABC Radio. But the other thing I want to mention is it's scary where these gas prices are going by Labor Day.
Yeah.
That's another.
Well, the thing with that is, Vito, you got a bike?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bicycle, baby.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's
Let them keep their gas for $4 or $5 a gallon. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So, any last thoughts? We got about 3 minutes to go.
No, I mean, I think, the summer is flying by like it always does, and I just think it's gonna wind up being good with the Olympics being, the final.
The problem with that, Vito,
icing on the cake.
It's the time. That's another thing. I think it's a 12-hour difference.
Yeah, well, Japan is the other hemisphere.
So you got now a 7:30 game. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're looking at like, well, am I going to work? Or am I watching games in the morning? What am I doing? So thankfully, with our phones and stuff, we can watch a lot of stuff on there. So maybe I'm definitely tuning in to the women's U.S. women's team.
No, the Olympics is a big thing because you wait. It's like a World Cup. You wait every 4 years.
The swimming, the U.S. will do great in swimming, like they always do, right?
Yeah.
The diving and all that stuff.
I think the Italian could win. Pellegrini. She's trying to win another medal. This might be her last Olympics, so
right.
I think she could come up on the medal table.
So the United States really thrives on the diving, right, and the swimming.
Yeah.
So we got those two pretty much, and the soccer team is going to be great. So those three events right there, I think we'll do great in.
And track and field, we'll see.
Track and field were good also.
Yeah, track and field, and also the Jamaicans.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jamaicans are always in the mix. Yeah, definitely. The Reggae Boys, boy, I can't wait to see their knockout game.
Yeah.
In the Gold Cup.
That's going to be interesting.
I'll be watching that.
I tell you, it's only a matter of time that that Jamaica's going to win a Gold Cup. They're knocking on the door.
Yeah, they got a lot of players around the world.
And the same thing with the analysts. Not even the same thing with the Euro tournament. I was watching these analysts. No respect for Italy the whole tournament.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the Gold Cup. All you hear is USA, Mexico.
Yeah.
And that means you never know. Someone could creep up on them.
Yeah, these guys they have opinions just like I mean, I don't listen to their picks. I make my picks. And Mexico's a dangerous team. They're always a dangerous team. Okay.
Yeah.
No matter when you play them, they're going to be dangerous. The Jamaicans show some good stuff. El Salvador.
Yeah.
There's a few teams that are dangerous in the tournament.
Yeah,
so.
it's getting more competitive. It's more. I think we're seeing more of a balanced Gold Cup.
The teams that have dropped, Trinidad.
Yeah. Well, they played Mexico well the first game.
But no, I'm saying from years past.
Yeah.
Trinidad was
Yeah.
always a force,
they
right?
were with Stern John.
The Haitians too,
Yeah.
right? Haiti was always a tough team.
Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
What happened to them? They're rebuilding,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
The U.S. didn't make the World Cup. They didn't qualify.
Exactly.
They were rebuilding.
Yeah.
Now we'll see what what they do now in September.
I tell you, Qatar. There's another. I've watched teams I've gotten invited to tournaments. Sometimes they get to the final.
Right. Yeah.
You never know. Qatar, 2 games, 6 goals they scored.
We got to see what bracket, what side are they on the U.S.
Yeah, we
side
gotta look
or
at
the
that.
Mexico?
Yeah,
We don't know
they're
yet.
already through, but we
They're
got to
through,
see.
right, yeah,
we
don't
gotta
know
see
yet.
what bracket they'll be in.
I believe by Tuesday night we'll know what's going on with that.
But
so.
they're a team I could see get to the final. The way I've seen them, they're blowing out these teams.
Yeah.
3-4 goals.
Vito, I'm glad you brought up the summer's going by fast. The only thing I don't like about this summer is those 90-degree plus days. 90
Yeah,
plus.
it's true,
I can't deal with that.
And were you at 18th Avenue Feast for the celebration of Italy?
No,
I
you know
heard it was
what?
going bananas.
Let me tell you something about that. In all due respect, that's my neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
That's my.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
I heard before they got to the final, they were jumping on top of the bus.
Yeah, stuff like that. I don't agree with. Stopping traffic and stuff like that. You celebrate, but where did it all come from? They cannot live in Benson. Where those Italians? They all went back because where did they come from?
Yeah, they come from everywhere.
When I was there 20 years ago,
they're just there for the celebration.
They went back to celebrate.
Yeah, it's all. But well, I heard the 18th Avenue Feast is coming back. I'm sure they're gonna be proud.
Well, the feast is there every year.
Well, last year was.
But it's not. Right. But it's not dominated with Italians anymore. The neighborhood has changed.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, for the Euros that last on the 11th, it was packed with Italians.
Yeah.
So it was great to see. Don't get me wrong, but do they all live there? That's the question.
Yeah, no.
I don't think so. $1 million homes over there now, plus.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of real estate, I can't believe how.
Give us a quick update on your real estate.
Well, it's surprisingly enough, Staten Island is still booming, and there's over asking prices on sales.
Really?
Even the rentals are starting to. They're still hot too. If you know anybody.
I think it's time to get out of New York. What do you
There's
think?
a lot of people I tell you, there's a lot of people leaving.
Brian, we could do the show on the road, right?
Actually, Fabrizio used to call into the show. He moved to Connecticut. So.
All right, Vito, that's the music, and that's a sign that the show is done. I want to thank everybody on the Facebook side of things. Thank you, everybody on television. Good luck to the women's team. Good luck to the United States Olympics team. All right?
And
the Italians, the United States, and the Olympics. Good luck to them. Good luck to the U.S. and the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
I like to see them win finally their 7th Gold Cup and catch Mexico here next year. All right. We'll see you guys on the next show. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching.